All right. Welcome and thank you for joining us back here at the PSB Spring Showdown. I'm Marcus Burnett, joined by JL Hemingway, as we get ready to bring you this matchup featuring FBC Motton taking on the Georgia Hoopstars Black here on Court 4. Hemi, this is one we were looking forward to hours ago when we had our pre-production meeting for the webcast.
Marcus, indeed, as we start right off the bat there with the three. I believe that was from number 0, Tasha Cummings, if I'm not mistaken. I've got to admit, Marcus, these are two of my favorite teams to watch during the summertime. Georgia Hoopstars Black, of course, coached by J.D. Davis, always a fan favorite. They come out, they play an exciting brand of basketball. They're always up in your face, they're going to play hard. And then FBC, headed up by program director Brian Harmon. But this particular FBC team, coached by Alfred Motton, FBC Mo, as they are known by. I got a chance to watch this team about a year ago, actually in the same building, at the Spring Showdown. Another three here from the corner. You're starting to understand why I'm so excited to be announcing this particular game. All 2017s, a couple of 2018s in there, tons of young talent. This is going to be a team that we're going to be talking about and broadcasting for years to come in the future, Marcus.
They're already up to a 6-0 advantage here early on. The Hoopstars trying to get settled. First they got to get it in bounds. They do that. But it doesn't take very long for FBC to get their hands on it. It's knocked out of bounds by number 4 for FBC Mo.
And that's Shell Tampa. The numbers kind of mixed up here. We'll get those straightened up as they go. But that was Tampa that knocked it out of bounds. A guard that we're familiar with. But on the other end right here, that's Tiana Swearinger for the Hoopstars, point guard. Good drive there.
Playing for the Georgia Hoopstars, but she hails from Greenwood, South Carolina, the Palmetto State. She gets them on the board, but right back at you comes FBC, 8-2 ball game. As the pace definitely picking up. That ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Aggressive drive by Alexandra Frazier. So we're going to have a timeout here early on, but I definitely like the pace so far. It's up and down, and you know, we already know what both of these programs can produce when you look at the type of players that they have and how the pace can get.
Without a doubt, as I mentioned, Coach Davis loves to play that up-tempo brand of basketball. Lots of defense. He's going to run and jump you and trap you. On the other end, FBC, much the same thing. They love to do that. Now, what's going to be interesting here is the guard matchups here. FBC has the quickness at the guard spot and the talent to be able to handle the Hoopstars' pressure. But conversely, the Hoopstars also have the ball handlers when you talk about Swearinger, Frazier, Poenge. Should be a very good matchup here, Marcus.
So far, so good. 6-point advantage for FBC as Poenge gets ready to inbound it for the Hoopstars. Risky pass left just a little bit of space, and you got Nichelle Tampa doing her best Champ Bailey impression there. And she closed that gap quickly to knock that ball out of bounds.
And this is what I'm talking about with the quickness. All 3 perimeter spots, if not all 4 perimeter spots. Every pass, every dribble is going to be contested in this game.
Poenge with it, going to get it out top to Frazier. Frazier, a little bit of room. Doesn't get the home bounce, but the layup drill will go.
That's Alex Frazier, Central Gwinnett High School, was named Region Player of the Year over there at Central Gwinnett. Had a big year for the Knights. Going to do it this year for JD too.
Shot off, rebounded by Poenge. Hoopstars trail by 4. 13 minutes, 40 seconds of counting left to play here in the first half. Swearinger, the stop and pop, gets it over the outstretched arm of Cassie Kushkitawa of FBC.
I like Swearinger a lot. You mentioned that she was from South Carolina. She came on a little bit late for Coach Davis last year. And that's number 10, Bianca Jackson, with a nice pull-up there in the lane. Another out-of-state kid from Montgomery, Alabama. for FBC Motton.
I'm sorry, man. I like seeing these mid-range pull-ups, man. They're knocking them down. That one by Alexandra Frazier. Pass inside to Kush Kiddawa. She's fouled. She'll have to get him the hard way at the free throw line. 12:53 left here in the first half.
Kush Kiddawa is by far one of my favorite young post players in the nation, quite honestly. You talk about size, skill, athleticism. You see the form at the free throw line, even though it didn't drop right there. It's not every day that you see a 6'3" big girl like her that can get out here, that can move. I remember seeing her last year at the same event and immediately putting her on my radar as a kid to watch. And sure enough, from day one, she was a high school starter for her St. Francis team, put up big numbers there. You can definitely project her as being one of the elite players in 2017.
She's surrounded by a couple as well. As they get that steal, push it up ahead to finish by number 12, Tiamia Butler. As another turnover is forced, ball will go back over to FBC.
You know, and this is the thing about Coach Motton's team is the fact that they come with you in waves. You know, you just mentioned Butler right there, another freshman, 2017 kid. She actually played for Southwest Atlanta Christian, who won the state championship this year, knocked off St. Francis and some of her FBC teammates in that Final Four game. Butler definitely a spark plug of sorts off the bench. She can play the point, the shooting guard. She's a defensive menace out there on the court. And at the same time, she can put up points in a hurry too.
Butler, number 12 for FBC. They're here in the white jerseys. At the free throw line, we've got number 20, Tiana Swearinger. Did a great job of being aggressive, attacking the body of the shot blocker there on that possession. She's fouled and makes the first of two.
And again, we're getting to see what Swearinger is so good at doing. And I think really, you know, she's going to be the kid that's going to be able to stabilize this game for the Hoopstars. She's very confident with the ball. She's very reliable with the ball. Even though FBC can get up and down, really look for Swearinger to control the pace of play, make this game manageable for the Hoopstars.
A couple substitutions in for Georgia Hoopstars. Number 2, Kelsey Arnold. And number 24 for FBC, Talia Gillespie.
Gillespie, you know, we would be remiss not to mention her. Played at Norcross High School this year, was a big contributor over there for Coach Angie Hembry and that region championship team that the Blue Devils had this year.
Definitely a solid program. They're over at Norcross. Angie Hembry's no stranger to solid programs, with her being the former coach of Maya Moore over in the Collins Hill days.
And not to forget Diamond DeShields.
How could you?
Yeah, so she's coached a couple of them for sure.
Rebound by Swearinger, gets it ahead. Here's Frazier. Arnold going to try a three-pointer. It's no good. FBC's got it, and they're off to the races. Butler going to try to take it all the way. Caitlin Duncan has other plans. Frazier got turned around a little bit. Working inside is Saunders. She can't get it, but her second effort is going to earn her a trip to the charity stripe. A lot of activity both inside and outside here in this one.
Talking about big players, Marcus, you know, we mentioned Kush Kiddawa for FBC, number 42 in black hair, Brianna Saunders, 2015 graduate. Really have enjoyed watching this kid progress over the past couple of years. She's really come a long ways in many ways, but more than that, you know, enjoy working with her. She was at our Super 64 camp last year, Fab 5 camp as well. She's a kid, takes up space underneath. She's got length, and she's got nimble feet for a big kid as well, too. So as Coach Davis and the Hoopstars move into the summer months, Saunders is really going to be counted upon to really carry the load inside for this Hoopstars team.
Adding to the load herself there, Caitlin Duncan with the rebound and the reverse, which makes it a 13-12 ball game. Talk about Caitlin Duncan's versatility as a prospect and what she's able to do for not only this Hoopstars team, but period.
Duncan, in my opinion, is the perfect four player for Coach J.D. Davis's system here. She's a kid that can play a little bit inside because she's got the length and the athleticism to stand up and to rebound for that, but she can also defend upon the perimeter. She can shoot the gaps. She can, run the run and jump defenses that Coach Davis loves to do. So in that way, she's a perfect fit. Had a chance to work with her last week at the APB Showcase put on by Adrian Penland up in Flowery Branch High School. Be looking for a Prospects Nation TV recap on that coming up here within the next few weeks. But Duncan really showed out in that setting. She was really unmatched because of her ability to play with her back to the basket, even playing the high post, and at the same time be able to facilitate and pass the basketball. There are going to be a number of colleges that are going to come knocking on her door, come the summertime, the fall time, for sure, just because of the type of talent that she is.
Duncan, number 13 here in the black jerseys for the Georgia Hoopstars, who have the ball now. They currently trail by 1. 10 minutes, 12 seconds and counting left to play here in the first half. A little bit of miscommunication there. As Duncan had flared out to the corner. Zigged when she should have zagged, so to speak. Arnold throws that out of bounds, and it'll go back to FBC as we see a little bit of the pressure being extended by the Hoopstars. It's a good look for FBC. It's just short.
I like this by Butler right here. Getting the ball, holding her hand up, say, hey, let's settle down here. Let's make sure that we get a good shot.
2 for $1 on the three-pointers is knocked down by Brooke Moore for FBC. Moore out of Henry Middle School.
Yeah, Moore, one of the few 2018 prospects on this team, definitely fitting in with what they can do. As you can see there, she can shoot it. And later on, I'm sure that you're going to be able to see her ball handling ability. And that's the tough thing about this FBC team. You've got multiple kids out there, not only that are point guards, but they can also play the shooting guard position. They've got shooting guards, they can play the point guard position. So when it comes to making sure that you control the tempo and get good shots, there shouldn't be any shortage of ball handlers out there that can control the tempo for Coach Motton.
Caitlin Duncan going to have a seat for the Hoopstars back into the game. McKenna Pawenge. Butler going to get it over to Gillespie, and Gillespie does the rest.
That's what she can do right there. Her athleticism is special. Kyle Moore and I got a chance to watch Norcross in the region semifinal games, and she was all over the court, especially on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, she's really good at putting the ball on the floor, making things happen. Immediately, he would just notice she would come in off of the bench, and within 30 seconds, she's going to make something good happen. You're seeing that here today as well.
Another steal created by FBC. Butler has it in her hands. They've got a 6-point advantage, 8:30 left to play here in the first half. A little off balance on the shot there by number 15 for FBC, Dominique Banks.
And Dominique Banks, another 2017 prospect, just a freshman. And you talk about the eye test a lot of times, Marcus, right? Think about Kushkutawa, Banks standing side by side as 8th graders last year. Both 6'3" plus. Banks is even stretching 6'4" a little bit. And she's a little bit more of a unfinished project. That's a nice drive there. I believe that was Rain Beeman, if I'm not mistaken, number 15.
Correct.
And Black, good drive. We'll talk a little bit more about her in a moment. But Banks and Kushkutawa, boy, just the wow factor of just, such length and athleticism and the skill to match. Banks actually played on that Southwest Atlanta Christian state championship team this year, and played a very significant role for that team. She's going to take a seat right here and actually be replaced by another big post player in the 2017 class, Lindsay Marchese, who played for Archer High School, who finished as the runner-up in Class 6A this year.
Marchese does a great job of using her size inside, as we see, and not take very long for that to be, for Exhibit A to be provided. If she gets the rebound there, it's fouled, and we'll go to the line and shoot two.
And I could just go on and on about these players, because I know them so well. I've watched quite a few games of theirs. You know, I seem to know their games inside and out. But by Marchese, she's a kid that you talk about efficient post scores. She can post up on the block, gain angles, and shoots a very high percentage, you know, in there in the paint. And speaking of high percentages, there's a high percentage shot there from McKenna Poenge.
She splashes that one through. 19-17 ball game. Marchese, nice job of sealing off.
And that's what I'm talking about with Marchese, is the fact that she understands that she's bigger than everybody else. She establishes that block position, and unfortunately not enough big kids embrace this fact, you know, with post play. You know, too many of them want to float around the arc. Now she's got the ability to play on the perimeter and face up some, but why not score a lot of points? You know, if you've got the ability to, you know, score 10 buckets a game, you know, just by catch, you know, seal, catch, score, she's got that ability, and she's showing it here today.
As her trip to the free throw line makes it a 20-17 ball game. 3-point advantage for FBC. In fact, Marchese's going to pick up a foul there. It'll be Georgia Hoopstars ball out of bounds. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left to play here in the first half. Poenge up top, just knocked down a three-pointer for the Hoopstars. He's going to get it over to Frazier. Poenge, she's got one. Give her two.
And that's what she can do well, Marcus. We were talking about this a moment ago in our pre-production meeting. Poenge is a shooting specialist, and that's exactly what the Hoopstars need her to do. They need her to make shots. When she gets her feet set and the ball's, you know, in her pocket and in rhythm, she can definitely put this game in favor of Coach Davis and those Hoopstars.
She's tied it up for the Hoopstars as we have substitutions for FBC. 5 for 5. Strong take right there. Bounces around but won't go down. They're fighting for it. Let's see who comes up with it. It is Frazier. Long rebound to the Hoopstars. Swearingen had it but doesn't have it now. Kushkitawa fouled on the play by Frazier. She'll go to the line.
Good hustle play right there by Frazier, but I'm more impressed with the offensive composure that Kushkitawa has to be able to catch that, you know, looking over her shoulder, and then to be able to catch it in rhythm. 1-2, go off the right foot, put it up with the left. Come on, Marcus.
Yeah.
I mean, how many big kids do you see, you know, even older kids that would be able to make that play?
Most definitely. This class of 2017 definitely represents the St. Francis program well by showing what she can do. But continuing to be a spark plug for the Georgia Hoopstars, Tiana Swearinger gets another bucket.
I like Swearinger. She just gets things done. She's efficient. She can score down there around the bucket. She'll catch you off guard too. You know, surprising quickness in many ways.
It's no good. Swearinger with the rebound, looking to push. Frazier with the spin move, has it partially blocked. And Kushkitawa got a piece of it as well. It's going to be last touch by FBC as Caitlin Duncan, number 13 for the Hoopstars, set the check back into the game. Going to give Alexandra Frazier a rest. Back out top to Puenge. She's already got 2 3-pointers so far here in the first half. Takes the free throw line jumper, I should say. Misses it. Not a bad shot there at all.
No, you got to like that. That's the right decision there. Shot fakes after making 2 3-point jumpers. And then gets into the heart of the lane and pulls up under control. Just didn't fall for her. Good defense on the other end by Duncan.
Doing exactly what you talked about in your synopsis of her value as a 4. You see Swearinger get involved there. That's a 3-pointer to make it a 5-point advantage for the Georgia Hoopstars.
Now notice what Coach Davis has done. He's gone small. He's put Duncan at the 5, having her guard Kishkudawa, which might be a little bit of a mismatch, but you see her activity level. You know, she's got the length to be able to disrupt down there and even be able to get rebounds. And sure enough, she comes up with another loose ball. I don't think that you can overstate that ability of having a nose for the ball, which Duncan does.
Nice pass right there ahead by McKenna Puenge, and the finish by number 32, Bernice McGriff.
I like McGriff. McGriff is a kid that plays hard, blue collar, just gets things done. May not be your leading scorer, maybe not even one time throughout the season, but she's going to do things to help you win games.
That's Puenge, a little bit too much dribbling there. Gets the ball stolen. FBC finishes, 5-point advantage for Georgia Hoopstars. See the Hoopstars dribbling into some troublesome situations.
Yeah, and you see exactly what FBC is trying to do. And they do such a great job of it. You know, Taja Cummings here cuts off the sideline penetration, forces Rain Beeman to turn her back. Here comes the trap. She thinks that she's found somebody in the middle of the court. And sure enough, Tampa comes up with the steal, leads the break the other direction. It's been a good game so far, Marcus. You know, it's been well played both ways, and both sides, each team has had their spurts in which you think, oh man, they're about to run away with this game. But as soon as, you know, one does that, the other team always seems to respond.
Love the substitutions by both coaches as well. Kind of realizing the type of game that this is going to be, and some of those legs are going to be needed at the end of this one, both substituting aggressively.
Rain Beeman right there with the finish. The lefty finishing with the right hand in the lane.
Two-man travel caught there. Marchese, unhappy with herself on missing that layup, was determined to get that ball back and try to finish it. Unfortunately, she ties it up with Michaela Coombs.
Yeah, a rare miss there by Lindsay. Usually pretty solid.
Talk about a sequence of athleticism right there. You got Coombs snatching that ball out of the air, the nice dime to Cummings, who double pumps and adjusts to be able to get the finish. And
now you can see the athleticism of the wings that this Motton team has. You talk about Coombs on one side, Gillespie, you know, filling in, you know, when Coombs comes off of the bench. Lots of length and athleticism out there.
Duncan just short on that first attempt, but the second attempt by Brianna Saunders is good.
That's what Saunders needs to do. She needs to be active. She needs to be on that glass, and she gets it done right there.
To make it a 6-point advantage for the Hoopstars. 3 minutes, 24 seconds and counting left to play here.
Ooh, almost gets it to fall with the left hand.
Tough one right there.
Yeah, that's a situation. Even if Arnold catches it down there on the baseline, she was going to be in a world of trouble. You know, there were already 3 or 4 defenders down there. Alex probably could have pulled it out and gotten something, you know, set up a little bit better. I really like this point guard here for FBC. Taja Cummings. You talk about a kid that consummate point guard. Might be small, but I think she's got a lot of Chris Paul in her game.
I like that comparison. See the three-pointer knocked down there by number 4, Tampa. Cummings with the steal, gonna pull up. Can't get that to go. Rebound by Saunders. Frazier to Beeman. Beeman, tough shot right there. The FBC is gonna look to push. Going to be out of bounds. They're going to say Coombs didn't step. No, they're going to say that's a foul. Foul's going to go against, I believe, Dominique Banks. Checking back into the game for the Hoopstars, number 23, Brianna McGee.
Well, 2-2-1 pressure right here by FBC.
They can't have that many seconds left to get across.
Yeah, with good patience, and then they're going to get something good here. Frazier going to get the pull up. But that's what FBC wants you to do. If you don't turn it over, they want you to take a quick contested jumper, and they're going to turn it into points on the other end.
It's passed there by Coombs and the finish by Banks. Frazier has that shot blocked out of bounds by Butler. Butler's only 5'7", and that's her second block of the game.
Oh, Butler's feisty now. She's going to have her hands around the ball for sure.
It's Cummings. Cummings fouled on the play. She'll go to the line. Sliced through the lane there on that one. So we've got a minute 45 seconds left to play here in the first half. 1 point advantage for the Georgia Hoopstars.
Tasha Cummings, a point guard, played for St. Francis High School this year. We talk about point guards that really just embody the position. And for me, Cummings really is going to be that next generation point guard in the 2017 class. I was talking to Brian Harmon last year, and he said of all the kids that are in our program, I would feel the most comfortable. And this is when he had, last year's 2014 group playing. He said, of all the kids that can run the offense, I know that Tasha can. She's got the quickness to be able to create the space, but at the same time, not have to play too fast. And that's invaluable when it comes to making sure that you get a good shot every single time down.
Yeah, very impressive coming from Coach Harmon, who's seen and coached a lot of great players through the doors there at FBC. At the free throw line now, number 2, Kelsey Arnold out of Mundy's Mill High School. No good on the second free throw. FBC has it. 31-31 ball game. Minute 25 left to play here in the first half. Bianca Jackson with it. Back in the hands of Cummings. Giving Cummings the rondo cushion, so to speak. Whoa. Talk about the home bounce. Number 34, Corey McDaniels.
Good pass out of that trap by Frazier.
Yeah. Too strong on the three-pointer is Kelsey Arnold. Cummings trying to finish in amongst the trees.
Whoa.
But Dominique Banks doesn't.
You're starting to see the potential that Banks has as a post player with that length. She's got just extraordinary length down there. If she can polish up that footwork a little bit, she's going to be a problem in a couple years. That's for sure.
Duncan ahead to Saunders. Saunders has it blocked by Banks. Banks trying to save it, unable to, and it'll stay with the Hoopstars. 10.6 seconds left on the clock. 5-point advantage for FBC.
I mean, look at Banks' arms right now. She's got them up over her head. She's nearly touching the net right now.
Here's Frazier. She's got 5 seconds to work with. Has it taken away by Cummings. Cummings has a chance for a shot. Just to the left. That'll do it for the first half. FBC versus the Georgia Hoopstars. You're watching the PSB Spring Showdown here on Prospect Nation TV. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's J.L. Hemingway. We'll see you back here after halftime. All right, we're ready to get back at it. Marcus Burnett joined by J.L. Hemingway here on Prospects Nation TV. The Georgia Hoopstars taking on FBC. They currently trail by 5. We've seen the pendulum swing back and forth. It was in FBC's favor to start the game. Then over to the Hoopstars after some McKenna-Poingate threes and big plays by Swearinger. Now FBC has the advantage. Hemi, your synopsis of the game up to this point.
I think the word pendulum is a good word there, Marcus. The momentum has definitely gone back and forth between the two sides. Both sides have been bothered by each other's pressure, but at the same time, both sides have been able to make enough plays created as a result of the pressure to make this a very evenly contested match.
The FBC has it now. Specifically, Michaela Coombs. Nice read right there by Coombs. Can't knock down a three-pointer. Poingate loses it. Nice move right there by Gillespie. Can't finish though, and Poingate gets it back. Duncan in a little bit of trouble. She tries to get out of it and travels in the process.
One thing I've noticed both teams have struggled securing a rebound, a defensive rebound, and been able to get an outlet pass.
Yeah.
You know, how many times have we seen Marcus get a rebound, oh, we got the stop, and then throw it right to the other team, which then, you know, leads to an easy bucket. Both teams, quite honestly, have got to do a better job of securing position and getting, securing the rebounds and getting better outlets to start the break.
Yeah, because neither one of these teams are facing an opponent that needs help, you know, turning the ball over and getting out and getting after it. So definitely don't want to contribute to that cause. That last foul going against Brianna Saunders, her and Kush Kittiwah were definitely battling inside there for position. Cross-court pass, here's Coombs. Back out top to Cummings. Tough shot by Cummings, but not too tough. And she gets it to go. 3-point advantage for FBC.
She's a tough matchup now.
You like Frazier being aggressive, but there's been times where even Coach J.D. Davis has told her, slow it down just a little bit. Cummings, on the other hand, back-to-back baskets for her. High degree of difficulty on both.
She's in rhythm right now. She's really got a good read on the defenders. And now what you see here by the Hoopstars, as this game stretched out to nearly 10 points, is they're starting to press a little bit. They get it across half court, and they think that they've got to take a shot, you know, almost immediately. Where they've had success, you know, working the ball around and getting a better shot. FBC, conversely, has been able to slow the game down in the half court, work it inside to Kush Kittiwah, reverse it around, and then be able to work off a penetration like that. We've seen the past two possessions from the Hoopstars, one by Swearinger and the previous one by Frazier, where they're trying to create in the midst of two defenders, through double teams, and those are low percentage shots, very high difficulty type plays.
Kush Kittiwah knocks down the second free throw. Saunders is going to have a seat, so looks like Caitlin Duncan is going to draw the defensive assignment of Kush Kittiwah again for a few minutes. Lucky her. It's now a 10-point advantage for FBC. Poingate, she's got 2 3-pointers here in the game. Can't get her third on that one. As number 2 gets the rebound for FBC. Other way by Coombs. Been very impressed with Michaela Coombs' athleticism here in this game. She's been able to use it not only to score but to make plays.
Yeah, it's been a good afternoon, or I should say evening now, for Coombs. He's done some things on both ends of the court. Been very efficient, not made a lot of mistakes, and that's important in this type of game.
Ball goes to the deck. Not for long before they go to get it. There's Coombs. Another finish. Back-to-back buckets for Coombs, pushing the lead to 13 points for FBC. Wingate dribbling right into trouble in that corner. Finds a way to get out of it through the baseline. Unfortunately, Kush Kittiwah's right there waiting. And you had to know a timeout was coming. Coach J.D. Davis couldn't have picked a better time for that one, as the advantage has been pushed to 16 points here by FBC.
You talk about, I think at halftime, it was what, 37-31, 35-31, right there in that area. Yeah. We're looking at a 47-31 game. FBC has come right out here in this first, really 4 minutes of the second half and taken control. Overall, they've been able to get some very good shots. And then on the defensive end, notice the ball has not been in Tiana Swearingen's hands all that much. You know, when the ball is in her hands, things usually calm down. When they're not in her hands, you know, the game kind of gets hectic. Now, Puenge makes a good play down there along the baseline, but you see the difficulty of this FBC team. They have so much quickness that even if you do split their trap or are able to get out of it, now you're running right into 6'3" Kishkudawa or 6'4" Dominique Banks, or even the athleticism of a Gillespie or a Coombs, being able to contest the shot on the backside. With all that being said, they're a heck of a defensive team. They can come at you in an array of ways.
It's early spring, so the chemistry and different things get fine-tuned through the course of the season. But you look at that Puenge drive, if you've got two trailing you along the baseline and one coming over to help, somebody's got to be open from the standpoint of being able to move that ball and possibly get a better shot. I think we're seeing FBC do a slightly better job of that. Cummings is picking her spots, but they're doing a good job of swinging the ball, giving Coombs space to work, and really being able to put their pieces in the best position to score.
And Marcus, it's simple math. If 3 is guarding 1, then that means it's, somebody's going to be wide open. If not, 2 people are going to be wide open. And we've talked about this before, in the previous broadcasts of just being able to make the game slow. You want to play fast, but at the same time, if you want to make high percentage, good plays consistently, you've got to be able to slow the game down enough to be able to make those.
Rain Beeman gets that bucket to go off the window. It's now score says it's an 18-point game. I believe they might have counted that last bucket for the FBC instead of the Hoopstars. Should be 33-47, and of course they're on top of it. They're on the scoreboard. And they got to change it right now as well, as it's a 35-47 ball game after that Rain Beeman shot.
Wow. She's having a day here today, Marcus.
Great shot right there. That's Michaela Coombs out of Wesleyan School. Another solid prospect there in Gwinnett County, a county that just seems like it's full of them.
Yeah, they're going to get an offensive foul right there by Kishkudawa. And that's a good call too. She took her hand and wrapped Duncan right there. You can't do that. Post players have got to learn to keep their hands up, show a target there, clean up the post play.
Again, giving credit to Caitlin Duncan for the job she does inside. That's a tall order to have to guard Kishkudawa. But she has enough strength and enough savvy in there to be able to battle, while you see Brianna Saunders still doing a better job of kind of getting used to playing physical inside defensively, but doing it without making it an obvious foul call for the refs. Ball's loose, but Kishkudawa picks it up, kicks it over to Gillespie. Gillespie can't knock it down. It's rebounded by Beeman, who's been a catalyst here for the Georgia Hoopstars over the past couple minutes. Swearinger. Good defense by Kishkudawa, better offense by Tiana Swearinger.
Hats off to Rain Beeman. Right after I made the comment about good things happen for the Hoopstars when Swearinger has the ball, Beeman counters with 3 good plays, 2 scoring for herself, and then a second one of facilitating. But down on the other end, no help side there by the Hoopstars, and Kishkudawa ends up with the easy bucket. If you're going to front, you've got to have help side, but if you're going to play behind, well, then you can, cheat over on the other side. They got caught up in a bad defensive rotation there.
Puenge out top to Beeman. It's a 14-point advantage for FBC. 8 minutes, 55 seconds and counting. Swearinger going to try a 3 this time. No good. Duncan working on the glass. Nice finish.
Duncan she's going to play a big role for the Hoopstars this year. This game obviously is important, for a lot of different, reasons, getting off to a good start, obviously for bragging rights, this and that. But I think what we're seeing here from Caitlin Duncan is that she's going to play big minutes, and she's going to contribute in a number of different areas.
Yeah. Off shot right there. Puenge gets it to Frazier. All's well that ends well. As she wasn't expecting that pass, but they turn it right back over. And have a kick ball against Gillespie of FBC. Ball back to the Hoopstars.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too unselfish right there by Beeman. You got it there on the left-hand side. Go ahead and finish it.
Swearinger trying to go baseline, but she has Marchese waiting right there on her. No problem.
Interesting move here by Coach Davis. I got to tip my cap to him. He's put Swearinger down there along the baseline, allowing her to make some plays right there. And she's doing a great job, as a matter of fact, of being a scorer. It's interesting, sometimes when you've got your best scorer, you got to take them off the ball to let them get more shots. Now, she's a point guard by nature, but, you know, let somebody else be the point guard so you can pass it to them so they can shoot.
Tough miss right there. That was nice defense by the Hoopstars. We'll see if FBC can capitalize. Butler's just short on that one. Mid-range J no good there by Bianca Jackson. It's going to be the last touch by the Hoopstars. It'll stay with FBC. I think Butler might have had some cramping issues towards the end of the first half. They were trying to stretch her legs out. And after a hiatus there, she's back into the game. You can tell still trying to get warm. Misses that first shot, but she'll inbound the ball for FBC. As Brianna Saunders, number 42, checks back into the game for the Hoopstars.
Yeah, they got to go with a Hoopstars counter here because two bigs out there, Marchese and Banks. So they got to bring Duncan and Saunders in there to be able to guard.
Marchese misses that. Ball's going to be last touched by Dominique Banks. Swearinger with it. Over to Duncan. Arnold to Frazier. Frazier met by Banks. She's fouled. And a free throw opportunity for Alexandra Frazier out of Central Gwinnett.
Frazier, you know, we've talked about her talent. You know, how much she produced this year for the Lady Knights at Central Gwinnett. Her specialty is really putting the ball on the floor and being able to penetrate. And in a game like this where FBC has so much length and size, you know, those specialties, you know, tend to be neutralized a little bit more. If anything, for her, this is going to show her that she's going to have to develop that consistent mid-range pull-up and even a consistent, you know, shot out there to the arc to be able to be that type of performer that she has been all year long.
Butler knocks down a mid-range of her own, making it a 42-53 ball game. 11-point advantage for FBC. 6:20 and counting left to play here in the second half. Tough shot right there by Swearinger. It's short, but Duncan's working inside. She misses. Saunders does as well on her putback attempt. Swearinger's fighting inside, goes down hard. No foul call though. And here comes FBC the other way. Ooh. Butler was determined to get that bucket.
That was some pretty good footwork there by the young kid. I like it.
Swearinger for three. Yeah, that's okay. Tough play the last time. Some contact there. No foul call. No complaints on behalf of Tiana Swearinger. She just gets back, cans the three, brings her team to within 10 points. Butler has it up top. No good on the shot. Rebound by Arnold. And Coach J.D. Davis's gesture right now about sums it up on that type of play. Hands on his head. You see another opportunity to possibly cut this deficit to single digits. And it's not a missed shot. It's a turnover out of bounds.
Now those are the plays that'll get you. It's the turnover in which you could have had a shot. Those things just add up eventually.
And now you've got a relatively fresh Taja Cummings in the game. She's tied up there on that play. Nice defense by Puenge.
Yeah, if you could point to one thing that has really stood in favor of FBC, it's been, really their depth, if not their length on the interior. But they just come with so many kids, so much talent.
Jackson to Marchese. Cummings gonna wisely bring it back out. Looks like Marchese has Bernice McGriff guarding her inside. We'll see how long it takes FBC to try to take advantage of that matchup. Instead, they're gonna have Cummings drive, and they're tied up on that play. I was very surprised by that sequence. I figured as soon as they recognized that McGriff at 5'9" was in there guarding the 6'3" Marchese, I figured it was going to be a mouse in the house type situation. Instead, Cummings drives, has the ball tied up, and it'll go back to the Hoopstars.
I think they were trying to get some sort of pick and roll situation there, and it just didn't materialize like Coach Motton wanted.
McGriff no good on that shot. Looks like he's touched out of bounds last. Knocked out of there by Bianca Jackson out of Brubaker Tech in Montgomery, Alabama. Puenge, nice time to get her third three-pointer of the game, as it's now a 7-point deficit.
And what you see right there, Marcus, is exactly what we've talked about with Puenge. She caught that in rhythm. She got that little step, a little extra half second to be able to get it off. And when she gets that, she can be a good shooter. Now, it's when she speeds up and tries to rush, that's when her shot can be off a little bit. But they're in a good spot right here. Not exactly where you would want to be with 4 minutes to go. But only down 7 here. It's really going to start on the defensive end. You've got to stop penetration first and foremost. You've got to think about it here. FBC hasn't hit a lot of threes, if any, if I can remember. They've really killed you on penetration, second shots, and with the post game, you're going to have to, figure out a way to keep them out of the lane.
Back from the timeout. Puenge going to get called for the foul there, trying to stick with Cummings. Doing a good job. Unfortunately, the contact results in a foul call. The Hoopstars try to crank up the defense here. I see 4 behind. Cummings is going to attack. Nice job on the defensive end by Duncan, who gets the block, but it's thrown right back as Coombs gets it for FBC. Bianca Jackson, Brubaker Tech's own, gets that one to push the lead back to 9.
What a big sequence there. They got the block and the steal that they wanted, and then turn it right back over. And then coming back this way, they get a rebound, FBC that is, and got a 2-on-1 break.
Combs leads it for Kushkitawa, who can't finish. Another opportunity for FBC. Combs gets it over to Cummings.
Oh, goodness. Ouch.
Tough collision right there.
I hope she didn't break her nose right there. She's holding her nose. Yeah.
As it definitely looked like Cummings a little bit shaken up on that play. Might have had a nosebleed there. But I'm thinking by the reaction, it wasn't severe enough, I think, for a broken nose. So I think we can at least hope it's the lesser of 2 evils, just a little bit shaken up there.
Yeah, I hope so.
That was definitely a tough collision.
What I like about that sequence right there, first off, Coombs gets the rebound in the lane. She doesn't throw out just a crazy shot, She backs it out. She passes it over to Cummings. Cummings had a look at the 3, didn't like it. back dribbled out, set the offense up. Puenge gets into her, thinking that, they can pressure her and everything else. Cummings plays with her a little bit and then turns the corner and then gets right into the heart of the defense. Now she can, look to shoot, kick out. That's the type of poise I'm talking about from that young kid right there. Of all of, the talented players that FBC has, and I might be going out on a limb right here, but I think Cummings is as important as any of them because of that simple fact that she simply sets the table.
Puenge no good on that three-pointer, but Swearinger's got her back. That bucket pulls the Hoopstars to within 8, 2 minutes, 41 seconds left to play here in this game. Coombs guarded by Frazier. Gonna kick it out, three-pointer on the way from McDaniels, no good on that shot. Jackson had it but loses her step. The ball goes with it. Now Brianna McGee gets this to Swearinger. Out to Puenge. Past couple threes for Puenge, just short. That's a shot she's knocked down multiple times this game and can hit. Unfortunately, it doesn't fall for the Hoopstars, but they still got a shot. Fast break opportunity for Frazier.
Nice.
She finishes.
Good finish right there by Frazier with the left hand on the left side.
Nice defense by Swearinger, who got a hand on that. She's going to take it all the way herself.
And the foul. I like how she put it out there with one hand. Sometimes you think, she's showing off. But I think that was the right play to get it out there in front of the defense. Just didn't fall. And for FBC, ever since Cummings went out of the game, things have just kind of gone hectic a little bit. They're going to bring Butler back into the game to try to calm things down. So it's interesting.
And it's just, when you're playing the Georgia Hoopstars and Coach J.D. Davis's teams, there's always a run that's going to be made at some point. They play defense the entire game. They're always active and in your face. And they're good for a run. The question is, will it be too late to where they can't overcome, whatever the deficit might be. But it looks like they're in the process of that run as we speak.
No doubt. And I think they've got the scoring punch this year to be able to stay in games where they haven't always had that in the past. Talk about Swearinger can put up points. Duncan can put up points when Puenge is hot like she has been here today. And right on cue, they can put up points in a flurry, and this is a one-point ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Solid Hoopstars run now has them to within 1 point. We're seeing FBC turn the ball over at a clip we haven't seen them do all game. The past few possessions, nearly a turnover right there. Coombs has it.
Oh, good drive. Coombs having a big game today.
Representing Wesleyan School well.
Right back at you. That's what Alex Frazier can do. She struggled today, but that's a big shot right there by Alex Frazier. Coming right down the middle of the lane. Nice little floater right there, and we got ourselves a one-point ball game.
With 1 minute and 6 seconds left. You were here during halftime where we had a spectator come by and say that this game was kind of a letdown with some of the games that he saw earlier, and we looked at him wondering if he was watching the same game we were watching. And if he had that thought then, I wonder how he feels about the past 2-3 minutes. They've been great.
Hey, I'm telling you, as much as any of the games, this has been played at a very high level. Regardless of how this thing goes down, both teams have competed hard. I like the effort, the competitive nature. Both coaching staffs out there really coaching these girls up. It's been a fun one. Hopefully it'll only get funner here in the last minute and 6.
Talk about a great game for essentially the first tournament of the spring. Could you imagine this game in a July setting? No need to, because it's doing a great job here at the end of March. Back to the action, right at a minute left to play in this game. It's a 1-point advantage for FBC. And we're going to have a foul. Looks like it's going to be against Puenge. And for those that don't know, under 2 minutes, the second team foul results in a 1-on-1 situation.
Yeah, 10 fouls, 1-on-1 overall If we're not to 10, then it's going to be the second foul. Oh, Tampa almost came up with that.
Tough shot by Frazier.
Frazier making big-time plays when they count the most.
To the bucket goes Frazier, and it's a 1-point advantage for the Hoopstars.
Oh, man. You don't want to foul right there.
And not, to be honest, Hemi, I'm not sure they did foul right there, but they have a much closer angle than what we have from across the court. So
that's the difficult thing about turning it on, turning it off. Sometimes you play this hectic style, you get the lead, maybe you need to just back up, but when you've been trapping the whole game, it's hard to stop trapping, if you know what I'm saying. They've been playing the past 5 minutes, down 10 points, and now you're up 1 point. You don't have to play that same way, but that's a lesson learned right there.
Clutch free throws right there by Tiamia Butler. Makes it a 1-point advantage for FBC. Risky pass right there by Swearinger. It's stolen away. Gillespie maintains her dribble, gets it to Butler. They're looking to foul. Duncan tried to, not called, and Butler trying to finish it herself. She hits the free throws, then gets that deuce to go. Here's Swearinger. It's a 3-point game. She's going to kick it to Puenge. Can she tie it up? She cannot. Butler's going to be fouled, and that'll just about do it.
Oh, goodness. And, there's no other person that you would want to have shoot that ball right there if you're J.D. Davis. Yeah. Puenge had shot the ball very well. You get it to Swearinger. Swearinger takes it, kicks it, delivers it on the mark. But you got Kiskurawa running at you, all 6'3" of her. You've got to believe that length affected you just a little bit.
Been a very clutch stretch here for Butler. She knocks down 2 key free throws to put them up by 1. She comes right back down. Is not settling for getting fouled and going to the free throw line. She gets a deuce to go. They send her to the free throw line again, and she's going to cap off a win in a very exciting game here from the PSB Spring Showdown as FBC Motton pulls out a 5-point victory over the Georgia Hoopstars and Coach J.D. Davis's program. Hemi, been a pleasure being on this call with you, man. What a great game.
Absolutely, Marcus. It's these type of games that keep us coming back. Very well played by both teams. Look forward to announcing many games the rest of this summer with both of these teams involved.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Prospects Nation TV. We're going to sign off here and catch you back here for the 9:20 game, which is going to feature EOTO Black versus Blazers Exposure Red. Thanks for watching.